So you're not mad at them for lying to you for years, but you're mad at us for proving that they lied. We tried to speak our truth to all the deaf, dumb, and mute, but you can't save them all. No, you can't save them all. Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea, hey. Good morning, everybody. My name's pianomattyb. That is Scaramouches. This is your morning tea. A brief glimpse into the crypto markets, where the sun's shining, where the wind's blowing. All the humble opinion of this piano Zamboni bringing the data. The FOMO index has dropped down to 33 from yesterday's 39. Bitcoin dominance is 56.8%. 24-hour volume is 60 billion. The overall market cap, 2.05 trillion. Give or take 100 million. Well, as old Scotch on the rocks, booze breath Jerry Pow Pow mates with his 200 PhD economists and other corrupt government crony types, the market sits on its hands, not knowing what to do, although Bitcoin's price action kept going down. So there's that. After trying desperately to regain the 200 moving average, Bitcoin couldn't stick the landing and continued down, finding a bottom and a bounce at 57.4 and has sleptwalked back up to time of production. 58.7, the exact same price we left the live stream 24 hours ago, but she carved out a cute little bear flag, and the price probability of this pattern is N. Sing it with me now. Oh, you take the pull, you slide it all, the breakout point, and then we're all at 54.9-ish, which is a little too close for comfort to that 54.3 level we talked about yesterday. And how we really don't want to get below that. What I don't want to see today is a build-out consolidation mine number, because that would build out the right shoulder, this head and shoulders pattern, which would play out to, oh snap, egads, a 54.3, so there's a potential bearish roadmap to that dastardly level of ill repute. Now over on the ding-dong, you can see we did carve out a third red candle in a row, which makes me more bullish on today's candle, because we have been generally rebounding after 3 red days and rarely carving out that 4th red candle. So maybe we rally into and bake a price for tomorrow's FOMC meeting. And where would that price likely be? Well, it's the humble opinion of this piano that a baked-in FOMC green candle could take us first up to the 38.2% fib of 60K, which is also a hella psychological number. But ideally, I'd like to close today's candle at or above this channel of eternal monotony's resistance level of Sigurd 1.1, so we can check that higher high close box. But as the September Fed meeting looms, which is quite possibly the most important Fed meeting we've had in 4 years, we could be on the cusp of some insane price action and volatility. So safety belts and helmets on, my friends. She's about to get... Whoa, a little early for a scream like that. I'm sorry. Would you look at that? The sun's up. It's another beautiful day here on planet Earth. A day none of us are guaranteed. We're not guaranteed these days. Yet we're lucky enough to have them anyway, so get out there and knock 'em dead. And remember, we're playing the same game as our psychopathic elected elites. That's right, it's the long game. So zoom out and have a fantastic day. And we'll be going live right away, so grab yourself a coffee. Join me for a quick one, and by all means, sing it with me now. Or on the banks of boom to spang, Bitcoin, crypto, more than tea. Hey, whoa, cha-cha-cha-ching. Can you imagine? Well, I guess it would be tomorrow, around 1 or 2. The Fed, old Scotch on the Rocks booze breath, Jerry Pow Pow, that is, doesn't do a rate hike, not hike. Oh, jeez, it's been hike for so long. He doesn't lower rates tomorrow. Can you imagine what would happen to the market? It would be absolute chaos. In a world where everyone expects a old man to drop the rates to save the entire economy of the world. It'd be something. You know how the market likes to wreck as many people as possible. You know, that's what the market likes to do. It likes to wreck not really as many people as possible, as many people like us. Being of the retail mindset, we tend to get wrecked. We are the little Fraggles from Fraggle Rock that just keep building stuff, and all the monsters eat the buildings and whatnot. We're like, oh, well, I guess we'll just get in again and keep building, and then they eat it and keep building. We are the retail in which gets wrecked. That's why your best bet is to swim with the whales. Central banks are buying, whales are buying, massive institutions are buying. The price doesn't go up. It's always nice to see. Well, I guess. Well, this is I do this too much. Well, it's just there's just as many sellers as buyers, I suppose. On every side of a trade, there's a buyer and a seller. So if 300 million people are buying, or if one hedge fund is buying $300 million worth of Bitcoin, well, there's a seller selling $300 million worth of Bitcoin. Wow, that's how the market works. So if it's not doing that, well, there might be some funny business. I don't know. Well, will we ever know? No. So that's the thing. So when you swim with the whales, you have to plug your ears to the noise too, because as such, you've chosen to swim with the whales for better or for worse. I mean, what's the alternative? To not swim with the whales? To do what they're not doing? But while you're doing that, there is a lot of noise. I hate it. Fish, deep pop culture there, Maddie. Fraggle Rock, circa HBO, 1982 maybe. Well, for some reason, I think, and I could be wrong, and maybe Sneaky Pete, you could fill me in on this. He might know. He's Canadian. That Fraggle Rock was made for Canadian television, and then it got sequestered or bought back down to some premium cable channels like HBO in the day. When I was that young, we had First Choice and Super Channel. And if you were lucky enough and wealthy enough to purchase the membership, I think it was maybe one of the first subscription services, premium cable there was, First Choice, Super Channel. It had like 6 movies that played around the clock. That's it. 6 movies. One was Clan of the Cave Bear.
Another one was Victor Victoria. What was another? And Clan of the Cave Bear we always wanted to watch because there's some nudity in it. I think you could see Daryl Hannah from the waist up or something. That was so crazy when you're that young. Clan of the Cave Bear, Victor Victoria. Well, maybe those are the only two that I saw. I don't remember Poltergeist when we had it. I think what happened is that my dad somehow fandoozled like a free membership because he was not the type of guy to buy that high-end membership premium cable service back in the day. Now things have changed for him, and he pays $200 for cable. Can you imagine that? It's the ironic twist. As he got older, he had less problems paying more for $200. Like I was like, oh, that's an internet package too. You have like cable and internet. No, internet's different. Oh, hold on a second. This is elder abuse. $200 for cable. What do you get? He's a CNN news watcher. Now it's all making sense as I'm talking it through. He gets it for the news because I see what's happening here. It feels good to hear what you believe in coming from the TV. And this is why all these news channels are slowly being eradicated. Because evolution is, one funeral at a time. Oh, what was that? Oh. Sneaky Pete Vaporizers, the super chat on a Tuesday morning. Wavy nudity. Is that an elbow or a nipple? We couldn't pause it. That's the thing. You just had to watch it again when it came on 18 hours again. We didn't have that pause button. So I guess we'll never know. Was it a nipple or an elbow? The last second, my mom was like, "Hey, if you just flip that around, it'll rhyme really quick. The serpent eats its tail. Serpent will eat its tail." And can you tell I had coffee today? That's the difference. Yesterday, I was a little more docile. I was like, didn't have coffee today, guys. I had coffee yesterday at 9 o'clock. Changed everything. Sometimes I wonder, why do I even try? Why do I even try? Scotty Moe, you Canadians had You Can't Do That on television. I believe Alanis Morissette came from that show. You're right, Scotty Moe. She did come from that show. That was her first big break. And then, hey, look at it. It's Duke here. It's Duke with the, have you smashed the likes yet? 57 likes. Oh, what was I talking about? See, that's why I take my eye off the ball. And then all of a sudden, Alanis Morissette, right? She was on You Can't Do That in television. And it had barf. Yeah, that. Now, the only person that probably recognizes that is Sneaky Pete, a fellow Canadian. Plus, you couldn't say, I don't know. Because if you said, I don't know, you got green slime on you, right? Nobody wants the green slime. But here's what Steve B, another Canadian. I saw the analytics, 5% Canadian now. So, as such, if there's 5% Canadians on the show, please go visit Bull Bitcoin. It'll change your whole life. Paying bills out of my Bitcoin account. It's unbelievable. So I'm one step away from ditching the bank. One step away. Yeah, you get $20 worth of Bitcoin too. And guess what? It's non-custodial. You buy it, it goes right to your cold storage. The middleman with the fees are all gone. You buy it, boom, right into your cold storage. And of course, you're American, get the Gemini there. $15 US. It's the same. 15 US, 20 Canadian. You know what I mean? You get all that free Bitcoin. I was actually thinking it's probably going to be funny, in 8 years, when Duke is 16, 17. Looking back at these promos, when people are like, oh my God, you got $15 in Bitcoin for just signing up? Because it doesn't seem like anything now, right? It's almost just like here you go, $15 of Bitcoin. But when Bitcoin is over $1 million, people will look back at these things and laugh their heads off. I actually think at what point price point? At what price point do you think we will stop calling it buying Bitcoin and we will refer to it as Satoshis? Because eventually, and we're there now. I mean, the average Joe off the street isn't like, you know what? I'm going to get into Bitcoin. How much? For Canadians here, it's like 90K. 90K? Okay, yeah, I'll take one. It's not going to happen, right? So we've already moved past the buying a Bitcoin phase. At what point do we somehow, what's going on here with these Rumble chats here? Oh, I got everything mixed up. I'm not gonna mess with anything. At what point do we start referring to it as the buys as Satoshi? So that being said, in 8 years, I bet you the 15, how do I do this? I can't do the reverse mirror thing. How about that? The $15 in GEMINI and the $20 in Bull Bitcoin will probably refer to as Satoshis. You know, when you sign up for GEMINI or Bull Bitcoin, you get 1,000 Satoshis. I bet you it'll probably switch to that now. What price will that be? I don't know. I kind of think maybe by next bull run, because people aren't going to care about the price of Bitcoin when it's in the hundreds of thousands. They'll be like, you should buy Bitcoin. Sure, I'll get into it. This is not knowing that you can buy Satoshis. How much is it? Well, it's right now it's been channeling forever, and I can't even handle it. It's been channeling at 176. Every time I wake up, it's 176K. I almost want to sell it all. I'm just so bored with it being at 176K. People would be like, for one? For one Bitcoin? Yeah, for one Bitcoin. So I think they'll have to shift it, and it will be probably a conscious effort by all the influencers, whoever's doing it in 8 years. Well, Randy Hipper will be there, that's for sure. She'll only be 29. She'll be 29. Duke will be 17. And she'll be like, hey, next up, guess what? Guess who we're going to have on our show today? Duke. We're going to have Duke. You remember Duke. His dad used to have a YouTube channel. We're going to have Duke here on the channel. And yeah, I've known Duke since, I was 21. Now it's getting weird because we can all see that happening, right? In 8 years, which goes by like that, Randy Hipper will be 29 in probably like the swing of her YouTube career, right? 8 years, it's just going to exponentially grow. That's two full-on bull runs. Duke will be 17, he'll be playing piano gigs. He'll finally be invited to all these Bitcoin conferences. It'd be like, well, we're going to invite your dad, but how about your son? He's quite a piano player. He should maybe play the piano at these conferences. Yeah, but can I do one before I retire out of here? You're not that old, pianomattyb. You'll still be here in 8 years. Yeah, I will be. I can't see myself doing other things than playing piano and preaching about Bitcoin, but I don't know if that will be. I don't know if I'll be in the swing of the YouTube career by then, because your interests change no matter what you find. No matter what you think, and this is why I don't get tattoos. It's a quick right turn there. The reason I don't get tattoos is that I grow out of every phase I'm in, and I look back at it with a little bit of shame. I'm almost embarrassed of every phase I went through in my life. And if I were to commemorate that in ink on my skin, I'd be like, oh, God, remember when I did this, and remember when I thought this was great, and remember when I thought this was great. So I just don't do it. So as enthusiastic as we are about certain things during our life, we eventually kind of grow out of it. But I feel the only caveat to it is that because Bitcoin and finance and the understanding of money and how banks work. Wick's wife, pianomattyb, in 8 years, the boutique community will be just as enthusiastic. Well, here's the funny thing about that Wick's wife. XRP, a Bitcoin tat. Nope. I can't get any tattoos. I feel like no tattoos is the new tattoo. Now, it's like one of those things. You don't have any tattoos? No, not one. And plus, I grew up around sleeved dudes. All my friends were like tattooed. One of them was a tattoo artist, and they had nothing but tattoos head to toe. So I was kind of like the pale, untattooed guy. Well, 60K is where we're trying to get to today. Randy Hipper, I can't commit to a tat. Yeah, that's what I mean. You got to be. That's the other side of it. So one is I'm kind of shamed about everything I've ever done in a certain way. Not shame, but embarrassed a bit. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about that. Right down to my my party days. If you talk to me in my partying days, Golden 069 pianomattyb, I'm staying no ink also. Yeah, it's the new no ink is the new thing, maybe. It's one of those things. I don't think you'll ever regret not getting a tattoo, but a lot of people regret getting some tattoos. Awkward silence over on Rumble. Right there with you on the tattoos. I'm one of the few late 90s traveler phase types without one. Yeah, it was hard in the 90s to not get the little tribal thing on your bicep or what have you. Oh, boy, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, my party days. If you would have asked me how life was, I would have went, unbelievable. I am living the dream. Everything about it is amazing. And the things I were doing I thought was so fun, and it was. Nobody had as much fun as I did in my 30s. That's for sure. Now, the people that did have more fun were probably like the next level up would have been like a full-on rock star. That was the next level where I could see we're having more fun than I was. But when I look back at it, hey, I can't believe I did that. But whatever. That's where I get to about all the things I'm embarrassed about is that it brought Duke into the world. And, some of those wrong move pylons, forced me into this direction and then eventually led me down to Peru and then the 30 days of ayahuasca and seeing the Matrix. And then, oh my God, who's that little being outside this energy field? Is that Duke? Oh, okay. Oh, hey, speaking of it, there is Duke. Isn't that how it works? And then, coming back up into reality and bringing Duke from the Matrix, the one side, into reality. So those were some of those. I never would have, pivoted into that area had I not done some of the things that I'm somewhat embarrassed about now. But, I'm not embarrassed that I would never tell the stories. They're actually quite funny. Maybe one day we'll do some pianomattyb epic party stories because they're epic. One of my buddies, Scotty J, the actor in Wrong Turn 4, our kids are now playing or training jiu-jitsu every day. So we go from never seeing each other like for a year to like, oh, every day we're just sitting there watching the kids do jiu-jitsu, which is pretty bizarre to think, like 15 years ago, Mr. Mark, the pianomattyb memoir. Yeah. 15 years ago, we were partying like insane monsters. And then now we're sitting on benches, watching our kids do jiu-jitsu. It's a wild, life is wild how it pans out. But we'll bring up, because our memories are back in those days, we'll bring up those stories. And it's like, if most people were listening to those stories, they wouldn't believe that the two of us actually did it. It was crazy. So let's go back to the ding dong here. What did we say? 60K, the 38.2% fib. This is where I could see price action going to a pre-pump baked in green candle for tomorrow's FOMC meeting. Now, here's the thing. I'm not sure we're going to see what we want to see tomorrow. And I'm hoping we see it. I'm hoping we see it. However, the market likes to wreck people. The market likes to wreck it. And, as an old school hodler, Golden 0669, to be precise, has gifted the chat with 5 free memberships tonight being this morning. Thank you very much, Mr. Golden 0669. Yeah, see what happens. Thank you very much, Golden. What happens is that I learn how to do the fry scream, and then Mom, can I do it on my live stream? Should I do it? It's pretty annoying. I don't really do it right. So that's what it is. YouTube in the morning, learning how to scream, because it's a trick. It's not really a scream. It's like, I'll show you that. I'll do a little pivot. This is how you fry scream. You pretend you're throwing up. And if you just do it longer with a little bit of reverb, but really, I can't believe I'm doing this right now. If you just do it without a mic, it sounds horrible. Little bit of reverb. It's not enough reverb for you. Anyway, I don't know how we got off on that tangent. That's Golden's fault. Thank you for the memberships, Golden. Just think of the Federal Reserve, then scream. See, I can't really do it that well. It's what happens is that the more you do it, the better you get. Maybe holding my chin makes it better. Anyway, enough of that. Bruce Mai, imagine someone tuning in at this moment. Yeah, imagine someone getting recommended. Oh, you should check out this pianomattyb. His TA is unbelievable. They tune in. Scream. Enough of that. That was too much already. Anyway, back to the TA. What I'd like to see is us. Who is texting me? Oh my God. Someone is texting me right now. Don't they know I'm in the midst of a live stream? So anyway, 38.2% fib. Get the candle there, candle close. Ideally, we want the candle close. And now we're getting serious here, right? Serious TA. Now we're going to, we want to close the candle at our channel of eternal monotony's resistance line at 61.1. So we can officially click the higher high box, although it's still not a higher high from here. Right. So that's why I always say, no matter what, we got to be over the 200 moving average. This is the daily chart. So regardless of this being a higher high, it's still just where we got to be. And now that is something that I'm harping on ad nauseum. Right. So until we're there, we're just really talking about a weak market. And now everything can change tomorrow with the FOMC meeting on two. There's, to me, 25 basis points reduction is baked in. And I don't know. I know that doesn't make sense because what's baked in? We're just been going down, right? 50 basis points will probably have a nice little knee-jerk pump. And anything above that, we may get a little wild with the green candles. However, and I know most people don't want to hear this, I just think we're going to get the dump after too. Like we'll have some green candles and inevitably a dump. So but here's the good news. After the dump, that will be the official reset. The official reset. That's right. Randy Hipper, thanks for tuning in. She's got her show at 8:45. Make sure everyone tunes in there. Maybe one of our super mods can throw in the link to Randy Hipper's. Here's the deal, Randy. When you're 28, you got to bring Duke on. That'll be funny. That will be funny. Like I say, Duke comes up. Really, he's on a loop, right? I don't know when he's when he's coming. He's just on a loop. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. And just so we all know what not to do in case we get the massive green candle and everything starts to go crazy. Oh, what was that? That's supposed to be something like this. It's supposed to be more flawless. Let's take it in case we get that green candle and everything goes a little crazy. I did it again. Oh, I'm going to have to manually do this. Maybe I should just, oh, that's the wrong screen. I'm poking on the wrong screen. You know what? Sometimes it's just better to
make sure you like and subscribe and share this